Welcome, viewers. This is TACC Teen Focus, the teenage community of the Saints Christian Center. And as you can see on the screen, we will be talking about trust, how to trust one another, how to trust in God, how to cope with not trusting each other, and using the example of Christ on how to trust one another. So, co hosting with me will be your name?
My name is Marion Elsa.
I'm Grace.
And I'm Sarah. So, please welcome and feel free to like, share, comment, tell us what you think about it, give us your opinion, and yeah. So without wasting time, or how they say, without further ado, please let me welcome my co-hosts to define trust. It was actually their idea to talk about trust. I think something has happened in their lives recently that they need addressed. Maybe somebody broke their trust, something like that. Simanyi na kumanya manai. So please, what do you think trust is?
I think trust is trust is a firm belief in a reliability, truth, or ability of someone or something.
Okay. Can you define reliability or things like that?
Reliability is a quality of being trustworthy or of performing consistently.
Yeah, okay. The consistent part now brings it out. But when they reliability, when you use it again and you say trust, you confuse us because you're already trying to define trust. So, Marion Elsa, you are even a princess. Please tell us what you think trust is.
Personally, I have something small about trust because, okay, what I think about trust is believing in someone. Yeah, to have belief in someone, so you're trusting in that person.
Okay, you've heard from them. In my opinion, what they said is true. Trust is believing in someone, knowing that they have your best opinion at heart, your best interest at heart, or they will keep their word. But there is also trust, like okay, like trust in God. If you are in the position of Job, God had already promised you all those things, and He took them away. That doesn't resonate with what you've discussed: reliability, consistency, those things. Because God had already promised Job He's going to give him more money, children, things like that. Job knew that was the nature of God. And then out of the blues, God takes those things away. They even kill the children, things like that. So that doesn't mean that God's nature of trust, of being trustworthy, had been compromised over God's nature of holding what? Like the Bible says that the word of God does not go back to him void. What he says, it doesn't go back to him empty. It goes back to him after he has done what he's supposed to do. But in Job's case, the word didn't seem like it had done what it was sent to do. It seemed like it just came and bounced back. In fact, if you read that part of Job, it is like you could more or less say that the word of the enemy is the one that came to pass in Job's life at that point. So trust is a bit more than just reliability, being truthful, and in the ability to, let me read the Google definition, which is similar to what you have. It's the belief in the reliability, truth, or ability of someone to keep their word. It is a bit more than that. It is you, mostly it is you knowing that even when that person doesn't, for example, when you know your friend lends you some money or you lend them, and then you swore that you will give it back on Saturday, but you didn't give it back on Saturday. By Sunday, the thing is not there. But there is that thing that your friend knows about you and knows that even if you didn't come on Saturday like their word had said, I know that there is a reason as to why it didn't come, and they say it's from a good heart. You could say that, just like Job's suffering was from the goodness of God, it wasn't from the store of wrath. I tell they are similar. You can't really tell at that point that at this point it was from a place of love that God was putting Job through that. But it was from a place of love, not from a place of wrath. So, yes, now since you brought the topic, I believe that maybe if somebody had disappointed you, you can know that maybe they're still trustworthy. So, let me borrow from you a little bit. Now that we have defined trust, how then can we build that trust? Because now we know what trust is. So, how can we build the trust that we have defined? Please.
Trust is built. Just trust is built when with honest. Trust is built with trust is built with being open to someone. Like, let me say, if I always stay with Marion, we are always together, but I'm not open to her. Like, when something happens to me, I'm quiet. Or I've got something, I'm just quiet. I'm doing this, I'm just quiet. I don't tell her. I only tell her when it is like, you know what? Something. Let me say something can easily be shown up. And when it comes to honest, it is like when you don't tell someone the truth. We are staying together, but we are just busy. I am just busy lying to her. You know, when you lie to someone, you might lie today, tomorrow, but next day she will find out. And you'll be lying. She will just know that she she's what she will not trust me. I will even do something and she says, I know that's what I expected. You can even say that I'm going this way, but because she knows that you're used to lie to her, she'll say that she is lying. So trust is built with honest. Trust is built with open heart. Trust is built with good willing.
Explain a little bit the open heart.
The open heart is what maybe is what I've just like from saying, because when I'm open to her, I'm like, I have this problem, and yes. So trust is built with reliability.
Okay, you have already explained that word. So, Marian Elsa, how do you build your trust?
Well, I I think Grace has said it all in my opinion, but maybe a little bit to that. I think trust. I mean, yeah, trust. I think it's also it starts first of all maybe from an individual personally. If I trust myself, I'll be able to trust other people. It's also built with love. If you love yourself, you trust yourself, so you can easily trust another person. Maybe with something, with your life, maybe with your sick. Like if that person is close to you, you can easily trust that person because first of all you love them, you love yourself, you trust yourself, so you can easily be open and trust other people.
Exactly like for example, what you said that when you trust yourself, you can easily trust other people. And what you said that you need honesty. For example, in what you've said, you could be the honest person, you could be the more open person, but you want the other person to trust you too. That person who is now not open to you. So you need to, like they said, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You need to fill yourself first before you can pour. So if you want trust to be given back to you, you cannot be not having it. You should be having it within yourself. You should be able to trust your judgment, to trust yourself, to be, and that comes from a clear consciousness. It is knowing that you yourself, your heart is in the right place. For example, you will err, you will do mistakes, you will do this and that, but you will know for sure that me as a person, at least I know that even if what I have done had maybe wronged somebody or had maybe hurt somebody, my heart was at least in the right place. So when you apologize for it, people will know that at least this was honest and something like that. And yeah, also, there is a bit of trust because in my high school, I had a friend. She was like, I don't know, she lied more than anybody I've ever known. In that there is one time that our dormitory had caught fire, and then she's the one who came and announced, and we didn't believe. We just sat there, and the dormitory kumbe kept burning, and it turns out that she was right that first time. She wasn't lying. And then, um, but every time she used to talk to me, she first told me that half of the things I'm going to tell you are lies. And there is, I don't know. So is that truth because she already told you the truth that half of the things she's going to tell you will be lies? And then maybe sometime later, like a month or 2 weeks, she will now begin to verify which ones were lies and which ones were truth. And she will also sit there and wonder, now why do I lie so much? So I am now asking you, so that part, is that honesty or because somebody is going to lie and they already forewarn you that of the things that I'm going to say, half of those things will not be true. Hmm? So is that honesty or
First of all, that friend of yours, she had a double mind. Yeah, she had a double. I think, but I think she was being true, and on the other side, she was also not. Yeah, not being true. Yeah. She didn't
okay?
have a choice. She was so double-minded. She didn't know where to go exactly. To either tell the truth or keep on lying. So she was in between there.
Yeah, and what do you think?
I think she was true. Because if she tells you, I'm going to tell you this, but half of it is a lie, and you already know that by the time the person is narrating the story, you know that at this point she's lying, and at this point, so it is now your choice to choose which one is right and which one is
Yes, it
yes.
was actually mostly in her stories. She puts a lot of birungo. That thing happened, maybe something happened, and she will put for even a whole movie, sound effects, all those things. And you're like, Mama, Naenga, you know that half of that is not true. But she has already told you. So, the part of honesty, you could say that like we have said, you need to have the trust in you yourself to be able to trust other people. So I think maybe I had trusted myself that she could see that I cannot just continuously lie to this person. I need to be at least clear with them. Let them know that I like to lie, and half of the things I'm saying are not true. But by the time she clarifies what was true and what was false, like a month or 2 months had passed, and maybe you believe that everything she had said wasn't true. Um, please, our viewers, tell us what you think of my friend. I hope she's also watching and she tells us what she thinks of herself. So, how to build trust? We have seen that you need to be honest, but there is also another kind of honesty that you don't really know. Is that honesty or is the person just, I don't know, they just like to say things. So on how to build trust, oh, we have already shared that, how to build trust. Um, I would like to make it clear that honesty is not like the only way. There are some people who are you, no, I'm not saying honesty is not part of it. Honesty is just not the only thing. You can be an honest person, but like she has said, you need to also be open. You need to be able to communicate. Like my friend used to lie, but she at least communicated. At least we knew where her mind was. When she was telling you something, you knew that her mind was here and there was a bit of lies in them. And that was it. So you could easily trust her because you know that she is not going to blindly lead you to believe a lie. She's going to clarify for you that, please, I don't want you to be like a stupid person. I want you to at least know where we stand on this. So communicating is also very important. Like we shared this, I think, sometime back, maybe a year ago. So if you would like to know a bit more about communication, you can scroll down into the first videos we ever did. So yeah, like you have said, communication is very important because, for example, you know there are these people who You don't know where that mind is. There is being an introvert, and then there is being just somebody who is so secretive. You, oh, it is like, these people who, let's say, they read books and then they hide when they are reading. And when the exams come, they also come out complaining, man, the paper was hard. I didn't even read. Because the exams come back, the person has 100%. Kati, how did you get 100% when you did not read and the paper was very hard for you? And even if you try to ask them, let's say in class or anything, they either tell you half of what they know just because they don't want you to know as much as they do.
Not
Mm.
even a half a quarter.
Yeah, like she has said, a quarter. This girl has experience with trust, let me tell you.
No wonder she brought up that topic.
So they'll tell you like half of what they know, or maybe not at all, or they will even lie to you. You just know that they are not open to telling you the complete story. So, how to build trust? I want to see what you wanted to share. Really, please share what you wanted to tell us. Really? Okay. So, how to build trust biblically? We have seen how to build trust while talking. Now, how to build trust according to the Bible. Mm. It says that trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your path. Biblically, God knows that you as a person, it doesn't matter how honest you are or how hard you try or how open you are bound to falter, or you are bound to maybe trust even the wrong person. You are bound to have your trust broken or break even another person's trust. So God is telling us that to not lean on our own understanding. We should not lean on what we think we know or how strong we are or how smart we are, like the people who lie to us that they didn't read and they get 100%. Oh, it is usually actually common among the smart people when they tell me I don't read, I just be there laughing and then I pass. Then, and it turns out that there is nobody in the entire world who has ever passed without not reading, even the smartest person. They read, they show interest in something. You just don't be there, and you are not born knowing biology, really. Maybe if things like GP that needs you to, but biology, chemistry, you are not born knowing those things. Those things you actually knew the word biology from school. So how come that now for you, you just can't sleep and you pass something you are not born knowing? It is impossible. To just maybe things that need psychology a little bit there, but things that need you to cut numbers here and there, that is very not true. And you wonder, Kati, at this point, does the person think I believe or they think I
They
don't
even
believe?
tell you.
Yeah. So, like God said, do not trust your own understanding. Do not lean on what you think you know or how strong you are or your capacity to cover winter, things like that. You need to trust in God, actually lean on Him. It is like you need to cross check with Him for everything you do. You need to like we have talked about being open. So you need to be open with God too. You get His opinion on what you're about to do. And Psalms 37, 4 to 5. Does anybody have a Bible? First read for us Psalm 37, 4 to 5.
Psalms 37, 45. Mm, okay. Psa- Psalms 37, 45 says, Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
Exactly. I read somewhere that it says that God does not owe you an explanation. You know, with your friend, when they tell you, let's say, let's talk about money borrowing. For you, when you give somebody your money and then they say, I will bring it like on Friday. You will even ask them, on Friday, where will we meet? How? Oh, okay, you come to my class, or you come to my dorm, or you come where we will meet there. Okay, I will send it to you on mobile money. Oh, okay. And how will you get the money? Things like that. But with God, you are not going to ask those questions. You are not going to ask them, how will you bless me? The blessings that you said that you are going to bless me. How will you bless me? Will the money come as miracle money the way they tell us? Or is it going to be the stranger in a taxi? So should I sit in the taxi and wait for the stranger? No, God does not owe you an explanation. They say, delight yourself. Just stay at peace with God. Be joyful in your salvation. As in, enjoy the things that God has freely given you, even before you see them. Like trust is, let's say, trust is something you cannot touch. So you cannot bank, you cannot bank your capacity to trust God on how much He can give you or how much He cannot give you, which is impossible. Now that we have seen the biblical way of building trust, let us give an example. We want to talk about when trust is broken, such that we can talk about the importance of trust. So that we can talk about the importance of trust after we have known how trust can be broken, because now we have seen how it can be built. But before that, I want us to give examples of when our trusts were broken. You who came with a title, please tell us when somebody you trusted lied to you, over they were not reliable, over consistent, and they didn't have the ability to keep their word.
Okay, it is not so far that when we were on the teens, was it teens and money?
That show that we did the other time.
Teens and money, I had invited my friends. They really assured me how they will be here even before the service starts. So I was here waiting for them, and we even came on the stage here. They are nowhere to be seen. They we came on the stage, we sang, we danced, they were nowhere to be seen. It became the time of eating, people are just nowhere to be seen, and I was like, and yet I had trusted them, I had prepared even some VIP seats here, and they were nowhere to be seen. Others told me, for me, I something got me busy, and yet they really assured me. So it really broke me, and it wasn't the only thing. The very people told me, we shall come on when freedom. We shall come on freedom. So I said, let me trust them again. At least that time they came after the service. But this time they were nowhere to be seen. And even you can't imagine, when I went back to school, they were like, how was the celebration? So I was really broke down.
Okay. So now, like you said, it made you feel broke down. You trusted, you even prepared VIP seat. Let me come here and I just find the seats I even taken. Kumbe, they have been booked for people who don't even want to come. And Marion, I'm sure in your life, at least somebody has broken your trust.
Yeah. It happened to be this one day. Our auntie and uncle had promised us there was this new movie that had just come.
What is its name?
I think it was it Frozen? By that time, I'm not really certain. So, and then they called us because they don't live in they live that side in Chitukutwe now, but they were in Tinda. So they called us. They were like, they called Jaja. They were like, tell those guys to prepare, let them dress up because we are picking them. We are going to Metroplex. We are going to watch a movie. Mama, we went and showered. We brought out our nice book clothes, our shoes. Oh, we dressed up waiting. After dress, we had eaten. We sat in the, we sat waiting for them. 1 o'clock, 2, 3, and then we're like, Jaja, call them again. Nobody forgot about us. And then she was like, where are you guys? Kids are here. They have dressed. They are waiting for you guys. And then she was like, oh no, sorry, we can't make it. Unfortunately, something has come up.
See?
We felt like what? We
Now
were
you
very,
see
very
the importance
disappointed.
of communicating.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
If it had been cancelled, you just tell somebody, Bambi. I don't know if I. Oh yeah, there's one time that my friend had said that they were coming to visit, and so I call and they're like, "Oh, where are you?" I am still living. Actually, they owed me money. I think that is why they didn't want to come. They owed me money. It wasn't. I think over like 5K, but they didn't want to come without the money. And I had actually really forgiven the date, just that it hadn't been communicated yet. I am coming 3, I am coming 4, 5. Ah, and then when I call, it wasn't off, it was on. And she tells me, "Ah, I am not the one who was riding the border." The- She was supposed to come at midday. Then she reaches she reached over at like 6 hours later, but she wasn't the one riding the border. So like really, where are you coming from that takes 6 hours? Hmm? So I am sure that we can't be the only people whose trust have been broken. So we have also broken other people's trust. So now give examples of when you broke another person's trust. I'm sure that you cannot be 100% the angel in that story.
Beg your pardon.
Please give us examples of when you broke someone's trust.
When I broke someone's trust, I can't remember.
Really?
Well, okay, what I remember is not that much big, but when we were in first term, second term, there, I used to go very early at school. By 5, I'm already at school. And children could wonder, how do I make it? I reach at school, there is no one. So when it reached second term, there in the middle, I started leaving home sometimes at 6. I reached school at 7, 7:30. And then one day my friend told me, you know what, we have to read harder. So since we are supposed to start cleaning by 7, we are supervising children, and 7:30 we are back to class. Let us come by 6, we read and do some revision. The only two of us, and then by 7 we do what? We start the cleaning, because she trusted me. I was good at coming early. That day, she told me we are starting on Monday. That week, I came at school at 8. That's when I reached school. Bambi, she was broke. She reached there. She had never reached that early at school. And she reached very early, waited for me for almost 2 hours, 6, 7, and 8. It is when I arrived, when the lessons have already started. I think that is when I broke her trust, and she did never come early again up to now.
Yes, refused, totally refused. Okay. Yes.
I really broke my friend's trust at school. Uh, so I was still in Olivet, that side of MPG, and I had a friend called Peace. She would fast on, I think, Wednesday, Friday. So I'm done with who reached out to her. I'm like, Peace, for you fast Wednesday and Friday. How do you see if at least I join you one day, we fast, we pray together? She was like, hey, yeah, it's fine. And then she was like, She was like, so next week, let's fast on Wednesday, me and you. It was only two of us. So I was like, yes, yeah, I'm definitely going to fast. Even I'm done, okay. I already done approached her. She was like, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to fast. Ah, it was a weekend. Monday came. She even reminded me, Marion, don't forget on Wednesday we are fasting. So I was like, yeah, I can't forget. So I went home. Wednesday, woke up, prepared, took breakfast. I tell you when I'm serious, went to school. And then at break time, I was busy eating. Biscuit and then biscuit. Hey, Marion. I'm like, what? Marion. I was dry completely. Like I'd really forgotten all about it. She was like, hey, Marion, weren't we supposed to fast the both of us? What happened? Nga you're eating. Oh, I said, man, just forgive me. I forgot. I really forgot. And like, she felt so bad. She was like, hey, I trusted you. I thought we were going to do this together. And then you just, let me down. Yeah, that was it.
Okay. I'm trying to remember when I broke somebody's trust. Now, yeah, I don't seem to remember. I don't seem to remember. I think I have. I know I have now. Yeah, to remember a time. Oh, wow. You know when the things they say that when the wrong is supposed to be yours, you forget it. You even forgive it. But when it's somebody else's,
You can't.
you just cannot forget it. You may forgive, but you can't forget. I'm trying to remember when I broke somebody's trust. Now, Papa, I just don't have a lot of friends to break their trust. I think when I get an example, I will share, but not now online because we would have gone offline. Over in the course of the show, which is even about to end anyway. If I remember, I will share. So, now that we have seen the what? We have seen that examples of breaking our trusts. We now want to see why it is important to keep the trust. Now you have seen when you broke somebody's trust, what happened. When they broke yours, what happened. We now want to see how trust is important or why is trust important. Please share with us your thoughts.
Trust is important because it promotes unity. Like I don't know whether there's still like that good unity between me and those friends who broke me.
Oh, okay.
Like they even last Friday they told me, you know what, we are coming. Okay, we shall come and visit because they had told me before they didn't. So I told them, don't worry, just this time I will not allow anyone to break me down. Because last time even my sister told me, Grace, you know what? Because I was so excited, I prepared everything at home. Then my sister came and told me, Grace, you know what? Appointment will turn into disappointment. I did not mark her word. I just took, God forbid. I went on, I prepared everything, food, juice, everything. Then they were nowhere to be seen. Then on Friday, they were like, Grace, do you know what? We are coming to your home. And I was like, no, don't worry. This time, whether you're coming or not, I don't care. Just because I know that you guys are just good in breaking others down, disappointing. So it's when you try, when importance of keeping trust, it's keeps unity. I mean, it promotes unity. It gives someone a morale of going deep in a relationship. It's a source of divine nature. Divine, yes, it's a source of divine connection to God. When like you trust God, it continues building up our it continue building up our divine connection with God. It it's a supporting structure of love because I don't know whether someone. Sometimes I sit and wonder because my mom behaves as if she doesn't trust anyone. Eh? You try today, she will show you that she trusts you and say, I know my Grace can't do that. And tomorrow she will say, today she said one word and tomorrow she will say 10 words. And you're like, does this woman really? One day I sat there and wondered, is she my mother? Is she my biological mother? Because I have a cousin. By the way, she doesn't know up to now, but she has grown whereby she doesn't know that the people who have grown her up are her aunts and uncles, but she knows that they are her parents. So sometimes
Watch
that's
it on the show and see that.
okay. So I did not mention her name. So that time I sat and wondered, this have they also grown me up like that? Oh, it is just so. If someone does not show you trust or trust you, it maybe yes, it does not really build up or support the love you have for that person. Uh, Trust brings you closer to God. Yes, that's all I can say.
Exactly like what you like in what you say, that trust brings you closer to God. Jeremiah 17:7. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose trust is in the Lord. When your entire being, you have accounted it on God's capacity. You, as in, there's a way trusting God is the ultimate test, because his trust is the kind you can't question. It is like some sort of dictatorship, the good way. You cannot question his plans for you. You cannot question what he said he has for you. You cannot question his intentions for you. You just have to take it as at his word. What he has said, it is gospel truth. So if you have the capacity to trust God that much, you definitely should have the capacity to trust people that much. Um, on the importance of trust, like you have said, it builds on the structure of love. It supports the structure of love. For example, I know, I know siblings who they literally fight. You know, you can hear somebody talking about their sister, and you're like, you think they're going to commit murder, and you're like, I know siblings fight. Now, this one, it is just beyond this one. I'm sure that there is no love at all. It has been broken completely and totally. It has been broken and washed away. Just because maybe when you were young, the child did this and that, your younger sister did this and that, and you never outgrew it. You forgot you forgot that they were once good people, or they were still good people. It was just a moment of it. For example, I've realized that a lot of people easily forgive their friends and they don't easily forgive their family members. When a family member does something wrong, or even they do something intentionally wrong, that one, he's an enemy forever. That cousin, my auntie's place is the worst. But you find a friend who has wronged you, after some time, maybe 2 weeks or one, you go back to being friends. But now when it comes to family, that is the end. There's a way you expect your family members to be perfect, and you don't expect that from your friends, which is not a good way, which is not a, because how can you think you trust your friends when you don't trust the people you stay with every day? You should definitely have cultivated the nature of trust in yourself, within your family members, to be able to trust your friends. Like, I have an aunt who is constantly saying that the Bible says that you should start from home. And okay, there's a way it is in my local language that I just can't bring it out in English. But it says that everything you do should start from home, and you go outside while saying that Jesus is good. You cannot say Jesus is good to somebody out when you haven't said it to your family members. It is not, let's say, trustworthy. It is not honest. So, on the importance of love, like of love, of trust, like you have heard Grace say, it builds up the nature of God in you. Like the Bible says that in all things you do, do it as of God. In everything that you do, you have to do it as of God. Since you cannot hate or untrust people or break people's trust as a nature of God, you definitely have to do it. The only nature of God that we know is the trustworthy one. You can only uphold that nature, not the other nature of Sitani. Yes. So please tell us your importance of trust. Now that you know that you broke somebody's trust, they broke yours, you know how it felt like.
Well, just as Grace said, maybe me I will add on that trust, it keeps the relationship between people, between maybe your friends, family members. If you trust someone, there is a way you can keep that relationship between you as a family, as friends. Yes, and it also brings about unity, as Grace has said. Once you trust someone, like you're united, you can be a family, united friends in all aspects of life once there is trust among you.
So you've heard from them the importance of trust. It builds love, unity, it even encourages sharing, like those people who hide what they know just so you don't pass like they did. I wonder how you can be happy knowing that somebody feels when you could have helped. And it was not going to make you any less stupid or anything. It is not like non-renewable what is that word? Non-renewable energy, something like that. It is something that once you give, you still keep. It is you even remember properly. You remember somebody asking you, and then you repeating the things to them. But because you're selfish and you don't want somebody to just I don't even know how you can live with yourself knowing that you knew something and you didn't share. They're not even asking you for money. These days in Uganda, the people's weaknesses are money and only money indeed. Yes, and trust is godly. Like the Bible says that if you love me, you will keep my laws. That is in John 14:15. The Bible says that if you love me, you will keep my laws. If you indeed say that you love God. Of course, it is impossible to love God unless you have accepted Christ. So, you who is now the type of Christ, you cannot fail to practice trust. You cannot fail to live a trustworthy life because it is like in your nature. It is like in your nature to be maybe tall or to smile at a joke. It comes like the way you are. It is like trust to you is like you having black hair, or it is not something that it is not foreign to you. Okay. So I think we will now wrap up. This girl had a lot of things to tell us. I wonder why she's not telling us those things. But now that we have learned that trust is not just being able to tell the truth or keeping your word, there is more to trust than that. There is, and we know that God kind of trust, the kind that you cannot even question. You cannot ask God if what He said He will do, He will do. You don't even make an appointment, like we said. You can't say you'll sit in a taxi and hark at you, God, for you said you'll bless me. Where will you do it? At what time? Where should we meet? Or what should we do? And that is mostly like what we had been told before. They tell you miracle money is coming, and you sit there waiting. Kumbe, that is not in the nature of God. And because you didn't know that, you let yourself be deceived. And that is one way of breaking our trusts. They broke our trust when they lied to us. And yeah, please share, like, comment, tell us what you think about trust. Last remarks, please.
Please don't forget to comment about Sarah's friend, and we know how you think about that friend of hers.
Yes, please. Please tell us. I want to know, was has honesty over, because she tells you the lie and then she tells you she was, before she tells you the lie, she tells you that she will be lying. It is just something she does to make her happy over. I don't know. Please tell us what you think about her. And Marion?
Thank you so much, our viewers. Please comment, share, subscribe, share with a friend. And as we said, trust begins with yourself as an individual. If you trust yourself, you can trust other people too. So make room to trust yourself and also make room to trust other people in your life.
I had said that I'll share my example when I broke somebody's trust. I think I lied to somebody and they found out. I don't remember who. But that was when I broke somebody's trust. Now I have learned that it is better to tell somebody the bitter truth than to try to sugarcoat it in a lie. Be open, like she said. Please be open. Tell the whole truth. Don't be like my friend who told us the dome was burning and it was indeed burning, but we didn't believe because she just lied too many times that we didn't think she was capable of telling, even the truth that was supposed, like, let's say you send somebody to go and they say something and you just can't believe that they were sent. Exactly. So please, from the team and I, it is bye-bye. You have heard from them. Share, like, comment, tell us what you think, tell a friend to tell another friend. And we'll see you next Sunday.